Well, Lisa, queenology has returned.
It has indeed, and we are so excited about it. Our team has been working diligently since you said, I want to start back with our live queenology. Our team went to work, and they've been busy putting it together.
You guys have been on the phone day and night, working almost around the clock, putting this queenology New Orleans together. And you have really laid out something this time like we've never done before, right?
Absolutely. It is an experience this time. This is an absolutely extraordinary experience.
Really, it is.
One that we've never had before, and rightfully so, because you have entitled this particular queenology, The Crowning.
You know why I did that, right?
I do.
You know, we started off, the whole movement started with the father-daughter talk, where we really identified all of the issues that a lot of women struggle with. Then we went to queenology, where we start talking about there's a queen in you and the mindset. Then we went to the training for reigning.
Yes.
And so now there's nothing left but the coronation, the crowning.
The crowning. And our queens are ready. They've been prepared, they've been taught, they've been trained, and so they're ready. So we've put together 3 amazing packages because we want everybody to have an opportunity to participate in this experience.
Correct.
So we have the Royal Court package, and all of the details are on the website. So I want you, when you go to the website, look at the details on the website under each package. There's the Royal Court. That's the entire weekend. Then we have the Queenology Live Intensive with a brunch.
Correct.
And so that has all the details and what's included. And then there's a third package with the brunch and the vendor opportunities. All of that is detailed on the website.
Correct. And if you can't afford to do the whole weekend thing, the big package, the main thing is the intensive. That is the main thing. And I want you to keep that in mind. I want to see you in New Orleans, Louisiana. It's going to be amazing. What are the dates?
The dates are August the 25th through the 27th.
And we are planning an amazing experience for you. It's going to be held at the beautiful Ritz-Carlton in the city of New Orleans. And it's just going to be an extraordinary event. We've never done anything like this.
We have not. Now, what I want to say to you is that early registration does end July the 1st. So the prices are going to increase right now. The team made it just as much as possible, as affordable as possible for all of you, because we want to make sure that you get a chance to register. So hurry and get registered. Choose your package and get registered. Don't procrastinate, because we want you here.
We want you in the city of New Orleans. Queenology returns. It is the crowning, the coronation, and women are going to be here from all over the United States of America and probably from some other countries.
Absolutely, because we do have followers across the world. So we're expecting them to come too.
Exactly. Anything you want to say before we let them go?
There's so much in store for you. Make sure that you register. Bring your girlfriends. I have some people that are bringing groups already. So get them together and come on and be a part of this amazing experience.
That's right. Come and experience New Orleans with us. Well, we love you. We thank you for considering, and we thank you for supporting us for so many years. Queenology returns. It is the crowning. Welcome to the coronation.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk with Bishop rcblakes. RC is an author, empowerment teacher, and the proud pastor of the New Home Ministries of New Orleans, Louisiana and Houston, Texas. His message circles the globe. His conversational and candid approach to challenging content makes him a relevant voice to all generations. Get ready for a life-changing transformational conversation.
Hello, 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 hello. This is rcblakes, and I am thoroughly excited about being able to share with you once again today. It's always my honor and privilege. Please invite some others to come in and to be a part of our conversation today. And before we get into it, if you are watching this at its original time, we are preparing now for Queenology 2023, which is going to be held in the beautiful city of New Orleans, Louisiana, the city of my birth. And I want you, your family, your girlfriends, your sisters to come and to meet Lisa and I in New Orleans. It's going to be held at the Ritz-Carlton, downtown New Orleans on the famous Canal Street. We'd love to have you. Go to queenology.net and check out all of the packages and meet us in New Orleans, August the 25th, 26th, 27th. Now today I have a subject that I want to deal with. And I have to admit, without calling any names, I have to admit that this subject today is stirred by some conversations, two in particularly, that I've had over the last couple of weeks with dear ladies that are connected to me in one way or the other. And one has, she had a great guy that was husband material. He seemed to be masculine enough for her, but there was something about him, I think the way he dresses, and he doesn't look like she wanted him to look. And so she since sent him on his way. Whew. Another dear heart that I was talking to started engaging a certain man that is quite reminiscent of the kind of man that she worked for years to get rid of. And she called me for my counsel, and I told her, time out. We no go. And so since, she's turned that situation around. But it made me stop, it made me pause and ask myself the question in my own mind, which turned into what hopefully turns out to be a great conversation for us today. Why do women choose the men they choose? Why are women attracted? And why are women attracting certain guys? Where does your, sense of type come? Where does it come from? Now, here's the thing. This is where my mind went initially, and I want you to kind of follow me in this. And let me say this before I get started. I am no mental health professional, right? I'm just a preacher. I'm a man, lived a little bit, deal with a lot of people. And so I have opinions that are informed by my experiences. But in no way am I a therapist, a counselor, nothing like that. So when we're done with this conversation, make certain that you go and get a real therapist to probably help you to unpack whatever might be going on in your own mind. But here's where my head went as I pondered, where do women, where's this thing called type? Where does this come from? Why do women choose the men they choose? Why do women reject the men they reject? We may all have, now listen to this very carefully. You may agree or not, but we may all have different versions of ourselves that are informing our choices at any given time. We have, for instance, we have the child version of our consciousness. We have the adolescent, maybe / teen version of our consciousness. Some of us have the broken adult version of our consciousness. But ultimately, we have to get to a place where we are functioning out of the healed and whole adult version of consciousness. You know, like I struggled for a long time with low self-esteem, and the way it manifested in me, and even today tries to manifest, is I became a people pleaser. Now, where did that come from? That came from my early teen years when I became a young unwed father. And I disappointed so many people that it impacted the way I saw myself. And so as a consequence, my social interactions were always informed by the young teen that was ashamed of what he had done. And so never wanting to make people ashamed of me again, I strove to please everybody. And I think when you think about this, all of us to some extent may struggle with being informed by an earlier version of consciousness, especially when that earlier version was impacted by trauma. And so when we look at women today who tend to make relational choices that are quite a lot of the time not in their best interest. It's clearly not that they are lacking intelligence. It's not that they're lacking many times education. They're clearly brilliant women, but what makes a PhD woman position herself to be managed by a GED man? A woman attracts what, okay, let me say this first. A woman is attracted to and chooses a man based on where her consciousness registers on this list. In other words, you may have a full-grown 30, 35, 40, 50, 55, 60-year-old woman whose relational decisions, her type, is possibly being informed by the broken little girl that never healed in her, or the confused, unwise adolescent / teen, or the broken woman. And she doesn't realize it, but she's visited upon by various versions of consciousness that play into what she views as attractive, what she thinks she desires, what she thinks she needs. A woman attracts what she honestly believes she deserves. And the problem with the belief system is that the belief system is mostly subconscious. So I didn't realize it at the time, that I was being managed by the traumatized young teen. That's why I was such a people pleaser and bending over backwards trying to make everybody happy while making myself miserable. I had no clue. It came to me years later as I grew in understanding relative to how the psyche, the soul, the mind works. and I started teaching other people. And through my own teaching to other people, there was a light bulb moment for myself. But a woman attracts and is attracted to what she honestly believes she deserves. And the belief system is mostly subconscious. In other words, it's functioning out of sight, out of mind, out of view, but functioning all at the same time. Now, on a conscious level, she may think that she wants one thing, but the subconscious settings in her soul says something different. So she may say out of her mouth, I want this kind, I want husband material, but the subconscious settings of her soul won't let her actually be attracted to husband material. She'll be attracted to everything but husband material. And then she'll continuously get something other than husband material over and over again because that's her type. And then she'll cry about, I never get a husband-minded man. It's because her subconscious settings, she's being visited upon by an earlier version of consciousness that has not evolved into the full-grown, mature, healthy, whole, hopefully healthy and whole woman version of herself. It's the little girl in you that's sabotaging your relational choices. It's the little girl in you that bucks against a great guy and says, he's just not my type. He's a great man. He's one in a million, but he's not my type. That's the broken little girl. That's the rebellious adolescent girl, teen, that's the broken woman in you that won't let you really be comfortable with a man that would do you good, and you continue to go back to your type, and your type has only served to wreck you emotionally, break your bank account, ruin your self-esteem, waste years of your life. But here you are, 40, 50, 60, still want your type, not realizing this is not the current adult version of you. This is a previous version of consciousness that has not been processed. And you are making relational choices out of unprocessed trauma. And the Bible says in Proverbs 23:7, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. And the term heart there refers to the innermost part of a person, including their thoughts, their emotions, their desires. As you think deep within yourself, subconscious level, your life actually becomes that. So there are thoughts you have, fleeting thoughts you have on a conscious level that are subjugated, circumvented by the subconscious storyline that's running below the surface, beneath the surface in your soul. Listen to what Proverbs 4:23 says. It says, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. In other words, we should all do some heart inventory. Like it took me all of those years into adulthood to realize that I had been traumatized by some of the choices I made, the way certain people responded to those choices, and how I was still hooked to that broken young teen boy and was making poor decisions in my adulthood that were being informed by the young man that was traumatized by being a father, a teen father out of wedlock. Well, it behooves all of us to have points in our lives where we visit we visit our own consciousness and we peruse our own consciousness to make certain that our choices, our decisions, our preferences, our type is really being informed by the healthy and whole version of us and not some broken version of us from the past. Because many people create relationships based on deficiencies within themselves. Because I lack this, this is what I'm attracted to. This is what I desire. This is what I think I need. This is my type. It's based on a deficiency that you feel within yourself. It's usually not from, most people, many people, should I say, do not make relational choices from a clear awareness of their greatness or their purpose. It's fostered by a desperate sense of lack. And when relational attraction is driven from a place of deficiency, the attraction is perverted and the overall outcome is pitiful. And I see this happening quite a lot with women, I mean, just taking great guys that are husbands all day long, throwing them back, choosing guys that got horns sticking out the top of their head. They're so much of a devil. And just choosing one after another, after another, after another. And then you get to a point where you've been broken so many times, now you become cynical and pessimistic, and now all of your rhetoric is, ain't no good men, all men are dogs. I started to say something, but I don't want to trigger anybody. Now, many women consciously know what they need in a man, but their subconscious mind often has a different idea of what they need based on trauma or arrested development. You're either being informed by an earlier version of consciousness that has not evolved into the mature adult, healthy adult version of you based on trauma, or you're being informed by an earlier version based on arrested development. Something just didn't let you grow up. And so you're in a grown woman's body, but you have a little girl's mind, and it's never so evident as when you make decisions based on men. A woman's sense of type may be the indicator of her subconscious setting. I'm just saying maybe now because I'm no mental health professional. But I can almost make an argument for this. When I look at and when I deal with as many women as I deal with, a woman's sense of type, when she talks about my type of man, he's not my type. When you look at a woman's sense of type and the kind of man that she says is her type versus the kind of man that she throws back, it may be a great indicator of the woman's subconscious settings. It may let you know if the woman is actually relationally functioning out of the healthy adult version of herself, if that self exists, or if she's visited upon by an earlier broken version of herself. I think a woman's type, even a man's type, is a reflection of their consciousness. Like the world says, for a man, the main thing for him is her looks. She got to look good. She got to be sexy. I mean, that's a very shallow perspective on what makes for a good woman. I mean, you got a lot of good-looking women that sleep with everybody on the block. A lot of good-looking women, dumb as a box of rocks. A lot of good-looking women can't help you do nothing. That's a very shallow perspective. But we have a lot of brothers, many brothers suffer from arrested development, and it shows up in the way they choose their woman. Flip the coin. We also see the world says to the woman, the main thing in a man is how much money he makes. Got nothing to do with character. He got to be 6 feet tall, make 6 figures, got to have a 6-pack. Yeah, he ain't got to be faithful. He don't have to be a gentleman. He doesn't have to be considerate. He can be violent. He can be a narcissist. But you got a lot of women that buy into, oh, he make X amount of dollars. He's 6 feet tall. He got a 6-pack. I think when we look at what we call our type, it's a great indicator of where our subconscious settings are. Now, let me just give you these 4 things and then I'm out of here. A lot of women are making their relational choices based on, number 1, the scared little girl. And the scared little girl speaks of a place of insecurity in the woman, a place of vulnerability in the woman. And this scared little girl version in a lot of women usually stems from a father wound. Because when a father is not there, has not been there, it leaves an unconscious longing for security, safety, affirmation, approval, and acceptance. Now, in this case, a woman may choose, if this is the case, if she's struggling, if she's being informed, if her relational choices and her relational appetite, if it's being informed by the scared little girl, she may choose a man, watch this, that reflects the man / father that disappointed her as a child. Her greatest injury came from her father, either not being there at all, never knowing him, or him being there but not emotionally connected, but whatever, she never got what she needed. She never got the paternal deposit she needed from her father. And so now, she's kind of married to the scared little girl, even in her adulthood. And so now, even though she's a grown woman, she yet chooses men that look like her father, men that fit the profile of her father. This is why she chooses men that don't stay, men that don't follow through. It's because she's struggling with a father wound that she's trying to see. What she's searching for, what the scared little girl is searching for, is closure. See, it's at this place a woman's heart is prone to choose men based on an approval deficiency. She's seeking validation in the arms, in the eyes of men, while, that look like her father, he may be dead and gone, but she's seeking validation in men, but not realizing that she's only perpetuating her own pain because she's attracted to and attracting men that mirror the initial man that caused the wound. You see, it's a mistake for us to think that the person that caused the wound will be the person to heal the wound, or that someone like the person that caused the wound will be the one to heal the wound. But a lot of women are making relational choices and decisions because they're trying to finally find a man that validates and affirms them, because as a little girl, that father wound made her feel like I wasn't enough, I wasn't important, I wasn't loved. So if I can find a man that, mirrors my father, but he finally loves me, that is going to give me closure relative to the breakdown in my relationship to my biological father. Now, Jesus met a woman that had a merry-go-round of men who did the same thing to her. Just a merry-go-round of brothers that did the same thing to her. She just kept choosing the same kind of man, same kind of man, same kind of man. And though there's no mention of this lady's father, I believe that, probably she had a father wound based on the way her life turned out. And you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about that woman at the well. And, if you go to John chapter 4, 16 through 18, it says, Jesus saith unto her, Go call your husband and come back. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband. In that saidst thou truly. See, a woman keeps attracting men that are the same profile because she's trying to get one to love her properly. Why is this? To vindicate her from all of the rejection of the others. And the rejection started many times when she was a little girl, when her father was not there. And she never realized that she was making all of her relational decisions out of the pain her father left in her soul. Now, when a woman does not heal the broken little girl within herself, she'll experience a number of negative impacts on her life. One major one is she may be attracted to a certain kind of man based purely on a subconscious longing for approval. I call it the approval trap. You're just waiting on some, your father left you feeling like he never approved of you. So now you don't realize it, though you feel like you hate your father, you don't realize that you're choosing men just like your father. It's because you're caught in this approval trap. You're trying to find a man that's like your father that will eventually love you and affirm you, because that you're going to feel like that's going to vindicate you from your father's rejection. And it does not happen. You got to get delivered from your past. You got to forgive your father, and forgiving him does not make what he did right. Forgiving him is simply saying, I got to leave you in the hands of God while I move forward with my life. Now, we see the impact of a woman that has had to feel any sense of rejection or discard in the life of the biblical character Tamar after her half-brother Amnon raped her. Her language is revelatory relative to the psychology of a woman who has been traumatized by rejection. If now this is after her brother has lured her, half-brother's lured her to his house like he was sick, and he rapes her. And now listen to what it says. 2 Samuel 13, 15 through 17. Then Amnon hated her exceedingly. After he raped her, he hated her. You read the whole context. He felt like he was so in love with her, he had to have her. But after he raped her, the Bible says he hated her exceedingly, so that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her. And Amnon said unto her, Arise, be gone. I've raped you. Get out my house. And she said unto him, listen to her words now. She's just been raped by her brother. She said unto him, There's no cause. This evil in sending me away is greater than the other that thou didst unto me. To reject me is a greater wound than the rape. But he would not hearken unto her. Then he called his servant that ministered unto him and said, Put now this woman out from me, and bolt the door after her. So she says to Amnon, putting me out is worse than raping me. Rejection leaves a lifelong void in a woman's self-esteem. The trick the mind plays on the woman is to only be attracted to the same kinds of men that initially created the wound. It's the broken little girl, the scared little girl making the relational choice. Now, number two, and I took entirely too long on the first one. Number two, a lot of women are making your relational choices from the consciousness of the young adolescent / teen. You're 35, 40 years old, 50 years old, but you're making relational decisions like little girls on the schoolyard. You're trying to find husbands, but you don't realize it. You are operating out of the consciousness of a pubescent adolescent or a young teen. Many women are being guided by the inexperienced adolescent who sees relationships as the source of her worth and identity. Young girls find it, extremely necessary to have, a jock or a popular guy, handsome guy, to look at them, tell them they're cute, because young girls have not grown into their womanhood. They have not grown into their individuality or their identity. So young girls build relationships based on a need, a search for identity. This is the quest for identity or identification. Young girls want to identify with certain kinds of guys because certain kinds of guys signal to the world that the young girl is a certain kind of woman. This is all, this is all about optics. But you'd be amazed at how many grown women are making relational decisions talking about your type, and it has everything to do with optics. Nothing to do with anything that is significant, serious, mandatory. It has everything to do with optics. When a woman does not come into the full strength of her own individuality, she will use relationships to give her a sense of clout or relevance. She wants a man that looks good on the ground. She wants a man that she can take pictures with, and girls chiming in, child, where you find this one at? As if you can qualify the value of a man from a picture. Oh my God, I said something right there. Her desire of a man is based on the idea that singleness is failure. The worst thing in the world that can happen to a young teen girl is that she has no boys that are interested in her. In her mind, that ain't the worst thing that can happen. That's a blessing in a lot of cases. But in the mind of a young teen girl, the worst thing that can happen is all the girls have boyfriends, but no boy is interested in me. It's because in the way the world has impacted the psyche of women, we make women feel like it's failure to be successfully single. You can be a great individual, but if you don't have a man, you are a failure as a woman. Oh, you make 8 figures a year? Oh, you found the cure to AIDS? Oh, really? You're feeding 10,000 hungry people in India and Africa every month? Oh, that's nice, but you ain't got no man, so that's intentional. And so a lot of women are making your relational decisions from the young adolescent / teen version of your consciousness, not from the adult, not from the healthy adult version of you. If you look in Isaiah 4:1, it says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. It's a reproach for us to be single. So we will share you. We'll make our own money, eat our own bread. You don't even have to give us money. Just let us, be considered yours. Just claim us. Because the desire of this woman is based on the idea that singleness is failure. When a woman is unable to evolve beyond the adolescent within herself, she will make relational decisions with a lack of wisdom reminiscent of an adolescent girl. She will want a man that is cute in spite of evidence of being crazy. She chooses a cool guy in spite of him being clearly a dangerous guy. She chooses a sexy man over a safe man. See, when you get whole and healthy, safe is sexy. I just wanted to let that just sit right there. I said, when you get whole, I say, when you get whole and healthy as a woman, safe is sexy. Now, you ain't got to listen to me. You write me off, cut me off. You ain't got to listen to me. But you're going to live long enough to figure it out. You'll send me an email maybe this time next year, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. You'll send me an email telling me I was right. Go to 2 Timothy chapter 3. Verses 6 and 7, it says, "For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women, laden with sins, led away with divers lusts." You got all kinds of types and desires you want. He don't smell a certain way. I want him to look a certain, he got to be a certain height. You got all kinds of divers lusts. Watch verse 7. "Ever learning, and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth." You done been around this bush 4 or 5 times before. You like the woman at the well. You done had 5 of them, and the one you got now, he's not one that's going to commit to you. But you keep going back. It's because you don't realize that you are married to a previous version of consciousness that is not serving the adult version of you very well. I'm preaching up in this Holy Ghost church. This is the woman that's attracted to a man for optics and how she thinks her connection to him makes her appear. The deficiency in this situation is a lack of individuality and a lack of identity. Now let me move on. Number 3. So we said we have the what? The scared little girl, broken little girl. We have the young adolescent / teen version of consciousness that women are unawares that they're making their relational choices from. But then thirdly, we have the broken woman version of consciousness. Now, this is when a woman has had, maybe lived from those other places so long and gotten poor results. She's had poor returns on her relational choices and investments, and an undercurrent of bitterness and anger begins to dominate her soul now. She develops, it's kind of evident in these ways. She develops blanket opinions about men in general. She wants a relationship, but she's too afraid to invest her heart. She wants a man, but she's afraid to actually become vulnerable again. She refuses to give a present man that's doing all of the right things what she freely gave to all of the men in the past that did all of the wrong things. She submitted to all of the men that broke her, but now she has a healthy man that's loving her and is gentle with her, and she refuses to submit to him. She's a broken woman. She still deserves love. And in a lot of cases, she's not aware of how her psyche is sabotaging her outcomes and how she's making a present man pay the bill for previous men that walked out on the check. So she generally can't hold on to a good man because she makes the process too difficult. And the Bible says in Proverbs 17:22, "A merry heart doth doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones. You see, her spirit has been broken. And so now there's a dryness about her persona and her approach to life. A broken woman comes across as angry and difficult, as an angry and difficult woman. The reality is that she's a scared and defensive woman. She seems hard, but she's actually very fragile. She's like the scab that covers over the wound, trying to heal below the surface. She's protecting herself from another disappointment. She's been broken. And so now she doesn't realize it, but that brokenness is informing the way she moves in relationships. And she's trying to figure out, number one, she doesn't have much expectation that anything is going to work out. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. She's saying to herself, no man, are no good men, ain't nothing going to work out. But yet she keeps trying to get a man, but she doesn't realize that she's approaching this from a place of brokenness. Now, let me see something here. Proverbs 21:9 says it's better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. Well, why would a woman be brawling? That's not a natural behavior for a well-adjusted woman. That's a woman that's been broken. And women are not usually broken at the hands of dogs or lions or giraffes. They're not broken at the hands of birds or cats. Women are broken at the hands of men. Come on now. And so now he's created this in his house, but now he got to go sleep on the roof. Now the broken woman chooses a man. Watch this. Here's one for you. The broken woman chooses a man that she can manage and dominate. She chooses a man. She's only comfortable with a man that she can manage and dominate. She don't hear nothing about, here it is, 1 Peter 3:1-4. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may, without the word, be won by the conversational lifestyle of the wives, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear, whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold or of putting on of apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God of great price. Now, the thing that is broken in the woman is her freedom to trust herself to sit in her feminine. That's why she's brawling. She doesn't trust herself, and she doesn't trust men to just sit in her feminine. She can't trust herself to be in her feminine because she has a fundamental distrust for masculine men. She attracts feminine men because they are the only ones she's semi-comfortable with, because with a feminine man, she can run the show. So this is where a woman says, I'd rather have a piece of man than none at all. In other words, she just wants a body in place. He doesn't have to function like a man. He doesn't have to have the character of a man. He doesn't have to carry the energy of a man. Just look like a man and do what I tell you to do. Because as long as I can control you, I feel safe. But watch this. Here's the problem. The problem with attracting feminine men for the broken woman is that she's never fulfilled with them. So this woman will have a little man at home that she can boss around, tell him what to do, and she'll be the one slipping out having affairs. She just won't let her heart get attached to the men she has affairs with, because she ain't going to ever be fulfilled. No woman is ever going to be fulfilled with a little man that you can just tell him jump and he's talking about How high? How high you want me to go? How high you want me to go? How long you want me to jump? How long you want me to jump? Is that good for you? You ain't gonna be happy with no man like that. You ain't got no man. You got a monkey, a little monkey, and a little man in a little red monkey suit there. You got the little thing. You got the little symbol. You just walking around. That's what you got. But see, that's what you're attracting. And that's what you want because you're broken. You're afraid of having a man that's really going to step into your life to actually do his job. Because you don't trust men. So it's going to take, watch this now. I'm not telling you rush out there and just go. All I'm saying is be conscious of what you got and why you got it. And then allow, do the work to heal and to really come into your present state, which is hopefully whole and healthy. And then trust God to bring a man in your life that will prove himself to be a man that can allow you to put all of that down and exhale. Because when a woman has been broken, it can have a significant impact on her life at large. Now, let me hurry up because I'm way over time. Number 4, and I'm done. Then you have what is ideal. You have women that are making relational decisions who are making it from a whole and healthy woman's perspective. Now, a whole and healthy woman is not choosing a man based on a subconscious need for acceptance or a need for identity. She is not moving out of her brokenness. She's not afraid to attract a man that's really going to be a man. A whole woman chooses a man based on purpose and desire. Well, let me add a third. Purpose, desire, and discernment. She doesn't need a man, she desires a man. But she only desires a man that is in alignment with her purpose. Because she's not buying into the idea that the formation of we is the elimination of me. We is the inclusion of you and me coming together to create a larger version of we. And then she's going to discern the man. She's going to allow Holy Spirit to speak to her heart. Doesn't matter how good he looks on paper. She's going to allow Holy Spirit to give her some discernment about this man. Now let me give you this and then I'm done. She's attracted to masculine men that pursue. She ain't out here chasing. That's a feminine man that you got to chase. She's attracted to masculine men that pursue. She's so busy living her life, she ain't got time to figure out if somebody tried to holler at her this week or last month or not. She's fulfilled in her purpose, and she's only attracted to masculine men that are pursuing. Proverbs 18:22, whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtains favor of the Lord. Husbands pursue, husbands find wives. Letter B, she qualifies men based on purpose alignment. She qualifies men based on purpose alignment. He has to be aligned with her purpose. She has to be aligned with his. He can't come into her life seeking to diminish what God has put her as an individual in the earth to do. And she has to see something in him that he's doing that she can participate in and help with. As I was pondering this, Adam had everything in place for thriving, for living and sustaining, life and humanity before God ever gave him a wife. He had a house, he had a place to live, he had a purpose, he had all of that. And yet God says, even with him having everything in place, he needs help. Why am I bringing that up? Women today, it's like a trigger when you say you need a man that has something for you to help with. I ain't helping no man. And you automatically assume that means, bruh got some things that he needs you to put together for him. No, if the brother got everything in place like Adam had, he still needs a woman that fits into his purpose and can help him. But you got to be a healthy woman to know that you need a man that you can help. If you don't have a role in a man's life, you don't have a purpose in a man's life. Genesis 2:18 talks about, and the Lord said, it's not good that the man should be alone. I'll make him an helpmeet, because she qualifies men based on purpose alignment. He has to be able to accommodate her purpose, and she has to be able to fit into his. Letter C, she approves of a man that is safe. She's checking his spirit, she's checking his temperament, she's checking his consistency. And in letter D, she's attracted to the man that values her. Her price is far above rubies. She's attracted to the man that's willing to pay her price. A man proves that he values you when you esteem yourself highly, and a man meets you at that level and even surpasses it. She's not out here trying to run behind a man that's not interested in her. She's attracted to the man that values her, the man that sees her as, the greatest thing since sliced bread. She's not trying to convince a man to stay that said he wants to go. And so I think if you think about these things, this may give you some insight relative to where your sense of type comes from, and why you consistently make some of the relational choices you've made. Hope you've gotten something out of this. Father, I thank you today for ministering to the hearts of every woman that's under the sound of my voice. Some have had a profound revelation, dear God. I thank you now for helping them. I thank you for healing them. I thank you, dear God, for bringing them to the next level of clarity and wholeness, helping them to evolve into the healthy woman version of consciousness. In Jesus' name, amen. Listen, don't forget queenology.net. Go to the website, register now. It's going to be amazing. August 25th through the 27th, 2023. Lisa and I are looking for you in the city of New Orleans at the Ritz-Carlton. I mean, it's going to be exciting. Now, listen, go by the website, rcblakes.com. Sign up for, mailing list. Check out all of my online programs while you're there. Thanks to all of you that always sow into our lives. Lisa and I love you so, so very much. Don't forget to go by Amazon, pick up all of my books. My latest book, Me, My Mind is Doing Well. Thanks to all of you that are supporting in that area. Queenology always does well. Father-daughter talk always does well. Go check out all of our books at Amazon. Check out all of the audio books, the e-books, the physical books. Go and check it out. Now listen, you are on top. You're going higher. God has more in store for you. So guess what? We will see you at the top. But before we see you at the top, I need you to take your finger and hit that like button. That's what I need. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. In Jesus' name. God bless you. We love you.
We here at RC Blakes Ministries want to thank you for spending this time with us today. RC and Lisa are always honored to have you with us. Don't forget to reach out to us by visiting our website at www.rcblakes.com. While you're there, you may join our mailing list and receive a free download of The Laws of Manifesting Your Vision by RC Blakes. Also look at all of the online programs by RC. You may find all books written by RC and Lisa. Once again, all of us here at RC Blakes Ministries want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And as we always say, see you at the top.
Well, Lisa, Queenology has returned.
It has indeed, and we are so excited about it. Our team has been working diligently since you said, I want to start back with our live Queenology. Our team went to work, and they've been busy putting it together.
You guys have been on the phone day and night, working almost around the clock, putting this Queenology New Orleans together. And you have really laid out something this time like we've never done before, right?
Absolutely. It is an experience this time. This is an absolutely extraordinary experience.
Really, it is.
One that we've never had before, and rightfully so, because you have entitled this particular queenology The Crowning.
You know why I did that, right?
I do.
You know, we started off, the whole movement started with the father-daughter talk, where we really identified all of the issues that a lot of women struggle with. Then we went to queenology, where we start talking about there's a queen in you and the mindset. Then we went to the training for reigning.
Yes.
And so now there's nothing left but the coronation, the crowning.
The crowning. And our queens are ready. They've been prepared, they've been taught, they've been trained, and so they're ready. So we've put together 3 amazing packages because we want everybody to have an opportunity to participate in this experience.
Correct.
So we have the Royal Court package, and all of the details are on the website. So I want you, when you go to the website, look at the details on the website under each package. There's the Royal Court. That's
Correct.
The entire weekend. Then we have the Queenology Live Intensive with a brunch.
Correct.
And so that has all the details and what's included. And then there's a third package with the brunch and the vendor opportunities. All of that is detailed on the website.
Correct. And if you can't afford to do the whole weekend thing, the big package, the main thing is the intensive. That is the main thing. And I want you to keep that in mind. I want to see you in New Orleans, Louisiana. It's going to be amazing. What are the dates?
The dates are August the 25th through the 27th.
And we are planning an amazing experience for you. It's going to be held at the beautiful Ritz-Carlton in the city of New Orleans. And it's just going to be an extraordinary event. We've never done anything like this.
We have not. Now, what I want to say to you is that early registration does end July the 1st. So the prices are going to increase right now. The team made it just as much as possible, as affordable as possible for all of you, because we want to make sure that you get a chance to register. So hurry and get registered. Choose your package and get registered. Don't procrastinate, because we want you here.
We want you in the city of New Orleans. Queenology returns. It is the crowning, the coronation, and women are going to be here from all over the United States of America, and probably from some other countries.
Absolutely, because we do have followers across the world. So we're expecting them to come too.
Exactly. Anything you want to say before we let them go?
There's so much in store for you. Make sure that you register. Bring your girlfriends. I have some people that are bringing groups already. So get them together and come on and be a part of this amazing experience.
That's right. Come and experience New Orleans with us. Well, we love you. We thank you for considering, and we thank you for supporting us for so many years. Queenology returns. It is the crowning. Welcome to the coronation.